Page 43, Waltz Time. At the top of the page, they're introducing you to a couple new symbols. That sideways arrow. There's two of them. The first one starts at a point, and as you read it, so you read in regular, the way we read text or anything, we read left to right. So as you read this symbol, follow it left to right, it starts at a point and the lines get further apart as you go. That means you crescendo, or you get louder. Just gradually get louder. Doesn't tell you how soft to start or how loud to get, it just means you gradually get louder. We'll fill in those blanks later. Then the other arrow goes the other way, so obviously you're going to start with the lines apart and read it across to a point. You get softer, and that's what they are. The first one, the crescendo, it's Italian, means gradually get louder. Sometimes it's abbreviated to CRESC, it's crescendo. It's the same as, they all mean the same thing. And the diminuendo might be just a dim. You might just see D-I-M period in the music. It's a diminuendo, it means it gets softer. A lot of times in band music, when we see these words like this, we will take a pencil and draw in the arrows, because you can actually read the arrows, the symbols, more easily and quicker than the words. In Waltz Time, you see the arrows in the second line. When they have two arrows like this together, they don't have to be together. You can just have one arrow, either arrow, it doesn't matter. But in this piece, they got both arrows. And it means you're going to get louder and then you're going to come back off. I call that a swell. Well, lots of people do. It's called a swell. You get louder and then you come back down. Again, they doesn't tell you how loud to get. Now the piece at the beginning is soft. So we figure, okay, we're probably starting soft and we'll come back to soft. But how loud in the middle? That's a musical decision you have to make. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go through and figure out what's going on in this piece. Let's look at it first. It's a 3/4 time, but if you'll notice the title of the piece is Waltz Time. Waltzes are in 3/4 time, pretty much. And you got fast waltzes and slow waltzes, and this says moderate waltz tempo, so I guess it's a moderate waltz. Somewhere in between. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, and the natural accent is the first beat of the measure again. I haven't been talking about natural accents for a while, but hopefully you've just been doing it. 1, 2, 3, 1. You always just do it whether I mention it or not. And that's what we want to hear. That's 1, 2, 3, 1. You feel it. Don't force it. Just feel that. Well, melody's in the left hand, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You figure, all right, got the notes right. This is in middle C position, obviously. And the right hand has the accompaniment, so the right hand has to be really soft because the left hand is soft. So the right hand has to be really soft. And again, I'm lowering the hand down. I'm not using the fingers for this. The fingers are just there. Lowering the hand is pushing the notes down. Try and get them down at the same time. I'm not very good at that, but you try. And then you have to be really, really soft with it. It's very light. And you work all that out. Then you're ready to try this crescendo thing. And diminuendo in the second and the last line, they both work the same way. You have to decide. I look in the middle when they got two of them together. I look in the middle to see what note or notes are there, and I figure those are the notes I'm after, because music wants to flow. So in the second line, in the second measure here, I'm not go over to here, to here. That's where I'm after, and then I can come down. I'm exaggerating it because I'm getting loud in this. It's out of context. This is not a loud little waltz. This is a nice, gentle thing. So you're not going to crescendo to loud. You might only go up to a medium, sort of loud. Don't get too loud there, but the point is you get louder and then you come back. And you feel that. And then once you have that worked out, then make the other hand match it. And then the right hand, when it plays that, each one's going to get a little softer because now you're getting softer. Like so. And the bottom line works sort of the same way, except the left hand doesn't play a note, only the right hand plays at the bottom. So the right hand has to get softer. Each one gets a little softer. So you practice the getting loud and softer because it takes control, and when you're first starting out, that control doesn't come very easily. At least for me it didn't. Now they have a note at the top there. Continue to read by patterns. I don't read by patterns, I don't teach it, so I'll let you do that. If you want to do that, you're just thinking about the intervals. Go down a second, then go up a second. I don't. It helps later on when you get into transposing and all, if you can recognize it, but to me, I just I see it, and I know the intervals. I've been doing this forever, so I don't really think it as I'm playing it, what interval I'm playing when I'm playing. I'll let you do that. It's nice for practicing the intervals, I guess. So in this piece, we talked about blah, blah, blah. At the end, we have a repeat sign. We're going to play it twice, and there's a note down there. Repeat with both hands 8 VA. We've done this before. So when you finish the first time, you're simply going to pretend middle C goes up an octave, and you go into middle C position up here. So it's here. So it's here. Well, you got to move your hands again, and there's no rest or nothing. How are you going to do it? There's no pedal. You're not going to use the pedal. We didn't want to use the pedal before anyway. Well, there's a couple ways. You have just a little bit of silence between the phrases, and that gives you time, if you want, to go up there if you know where you're going. Here. You can do it that way. Or again, since the left hand is the first thing to play, the right hand doesn't play the first note, get the right hand out of the way and get the left hand where it goes, and then you got a little more time to get the right hand where it goes. So at the end of this, I can move it one hand at a time. It's a little easier. So you practice that. You decide which way you want to do it, but practice it and stick with it, whatever you decide. And that's how you're going to do it. You will have to look down at the keyboard for that move, but you shouldn't have to look down at the keyboard for any of the rest of this stuff. So let's try this out slowly. I'll give us 3 counts, and we will play it repeated just like they're saying to. So hands in middle C position here. No pedal. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. Repeat. One, two, three,